Hello, Abraxas here, and I'm going to be playing some Space Engine. And yeah, I'm thinking about just kind of expanding on this whole YouTube thing, like I've said. But yeah, I have game ideas. I know somebody wanted to buy me a copy of, what was it Space Engineers? I don't know. It's that one game that's kind of got its own little art style going on and stuff, but I think that's the end of the vloggy portion of this. Let's go ahead and move on to your guys' suggestions. So the first suggestion is from Mr. Star Wars, and he says this is as close to getting to, this is as close as it can get to getting Yavin and Yavin 4. I don't understand the reference, I'm sorry. I don't know. Like, I don't know what that's a reference to. If that's a reference to Star Wars, for example, I've never actually seen Star Wars, which I know. I like light up the pitchfork or light up the torches and get the pitchforks. I have not seen Star Wars. It's amazing. I don't really plan to watch it because, well, I'm just not really interested in that series. So what do we got going on here? We have a beautiful pink gas giant with something around it that actually has life. Ah, here it is, a warm Terra with life. Well, it's actually very, very warm, I think. It's not warm at all. Well, I mean, it's warm, it's 44 degrees, but look at this. It has glowing clouds because it's actually the reflection of that gas giant on the clouds, giving it a very cool, like, orange cloud appearance. Let's go ahead and land right here where the sun is set. Oh, wow, that's really cool. We got these beautiful auroras, nice green sky. This is actually kind of similar to the old channel artwork that I had, where it was green, but now it's Pluto crashing into Earth. And yeah, that's really awesome. I like the glowing clouds for sure. The guy just has some like red glowing clouds, and you can just see this huge gas giant in the sky. That's very awesome. What is that? That must be another gas giant. Oh yeah, that's what that is. And as we come over here, we can kind of see the sunrise, which is a very reddish pink, very, very hot pink. And as the sun comes up, we end up with kind of a green / yellowish atmosphere. Actually, kind of blue skies, but I'm also pretty far outside the atmosphere right now. Very nice. Let's touch down. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I touched down on the wrong planet. And back we go. Very cloudy in this section. Oh yeah, it's actually relatively blue skies, but as you can see around the star there, the star kind of has a green halo around it, and the outer edges of the atmosphere are kind of a greenish color. Is this on real planet brightness? No, it's actually not. Oh, it's actually quite a bit brighter. Very nice. It does actually have terrestrial life, so let's go and see what kind of life we have on here. Speed up a little bit, there we go. Okay, so we have that kind of orange color, and it looks like it's just the standard grass texture. And we have these lovely kind of plateaued hills with some beautiful erosion going on, and of course the sedimentary rock texture. Alright, so let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which once again is from Mr. Star Wars. He said, I decided to show you my first Terra, which is orbiting a G-class star. I found this Terra 2 months ago, but also a brown dwarf in the system, and a view of the Milky Way galaxy, so it's going to be something kind of hovering above and below the galaxy. Let's go ahead and check it out. Let's go ahead and remove that question mark. Okay, so we do have some visible rings here. Oh, there's the Milky Way galaxy. It's actually orbiting quite far. Oh, this is in the Large Magellanic Cloud, okay. That is a nice view of the galaxy, actually. Anyways, looks like we have some kind of... What color would you say? Kind of a silverish greenish color. And it is a beautiful, very beautiful, actually well-detailed Terra. Not really much going on with the atmosphere. The atmosphere is kind of white, so Yeah, not way too much going on there, but let's go ahead and touch down and see what we got going on here. So it's Marina Terrestrial Life. Let's go ahead and see the parenting star. I think that over there might just be the brown dwarf. It certainly is. Let's reselect this planet real quick. There we go, and let's touch down and see what kind of life we're dealing with. So it's got the bumpy hills. I just messed up my field of view there. Corrected it. And it looks like it's going to have that kind of clovery texture. Yep, that's what that looks like. And over here it looks like almost like moss, I would say. And there is the beautiful rings just kind of up in the sky there. And you can see some clouds which are striping across the sky. And there's the parenting star, which looks like a white main sequence star. No, that's actually a yellow dwarf. That is a very, very white yellow dwarf. Possibly because I'm inside this kind of whitish atmosphere. Yeah, that's certainly what that is. Oh, look at that huge cyclone over here. And there's the Milky Way galaxy. Let's go ahead and get a nighttime view of... Oh, what's going on here? Is something eclipsing? Oh, that's the rings. Rings are technically eclipsing. Interesting. There's the Milky Way galaxy. Not too visible through this atmosphere. The atmosphere is kind of thick, 1.38 atmospheres of Earth, oxygen, CO2, and nitrogen. Very similar to Earth composition, it's just not a lot of argon, it looks like. And we do have some snow peaks on a lot of these hills. The temperature of the planet is actually negative 7 degrees Celsius, so we should actually have some pretty big polar caps. Let's see if we can find them. So if we zoom out here, we might be able to find the polar caps on this planet. Not quite seeing them yet, though. No view of any polar caps from what I can tell. We do have a lot more like kind of snow plains and snowy hills around here though, so very nice. Nice texture they're using for it too. Very cool. And again, an inactive volcano with a bunch of snow on it. Very nice. So let's go ahead and move on to the next planet, which I think is from Jacob Plays. He responded to Kara Hoff's comment, and he says Kepler 1190, so let's go ahead and check that out. Let's get rid of that question mark. Oh, that's not actually loading. I think I have to put a dash. There we go, and it is an orange dwarf in the Milky Way. A very cool little transition to the Milky Way galaxy. Press the S key so I stop backing up like that. And let's see what's orbiting around here. Not totally locked desert. As you can see, it does have a huge cyclone on it because it's totally locked, and there's a lot of evaporation and probably a lot of turbulence in that atmosphere right there. And if we zoom in, what's the interesting fact about this planet? It was discovered in 2016. It has a semi-major axis of 0.08 astronomical units, very, very close to its star, but it's also an orange dwarf, so it's not as powerful as our sun. What else? Has an ESI of 48%, so not very similar to Earth, as is probably pretty understanding. And it has an orbital period of 10 days, so every year is 10 days, but also every day is 10 days, so 10 Earth days, that is. Because, well, it's tidally locked. The orbital period matches the rotational period. So, very cool. Very hellish looking planet. Got these, like, red hellish hills in the kind of sunset. And has these big bright auroras, which I do have the intensity of the auroras kind of turned up, so they appear a little bit brighter than they actually do. But that's just because I like them to be very visible. So let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which will be from Jordan Taylor, and he says, please visit the gas giant HD 189 733b and land on it. Okay, let's go ahead and check it out. I assume that's this one right here. It is a scorched gas giant, not too far out, but obviously it's cataloged, so of course it'd be close. Where's the stripes and clouds on this? Water, clouds. The clouds are enabled, so it's just very blue. And there's the parenting star very, very close to this. Okay, let's just go ahead and land. It's the center of the gas giant. Let's zoom out a little bit. It doesn't have any like stripes or anything, so it's just a very thick atmosphere. It's not like textured at all, so I assume that's probably a bug with the game or something. There's no real clouds, it's just kind of... It's like if I went to a gas giant and turned the clouds off. Very interesting. This is pretty cool. Nice little bugged gas giant. Okay, so the next suggestion is from Ian07, and he has 2 random planets, it looks like. Whoa. Did we just fly into a nebula? That was a bit of an odd transition. Oh yeah, we're just totally in a square nebula. Cool looking. Look at this. We have like a bluish color on this side, and then we have a greenish color on this side. And we have a crazy view of what I can only assume is the Andromeda Galaxy. That certainly is. Look at that. This is... I think this is thumbnail winner right here. See if we can try to get that green in there. That right there is an amazing view. We're inside a nebula, we got the parenting star right there, we have a blue and green gas giant, and then we have the Andromeda Galaxy just kind of peering straight into this direction. Very cool looking. I just love that blue and green. There's one star over there, and there's another one right there. And that's what's actually causing this, and it looks like we have a little tiny asteroid moon, so let's go ahead and just touch down on this asteroid moon. That's really awesome. So the next suggestion doesn't look like it's a planet, it looks like it just kind of has a star selected, so let's go ahead and check it out. Let's get rid of this question mark. And it's not too far out from here, and it's a red dwarf, kind of in the same nebula it looks like. And what is that? Is that a brown dwarf? No, it's just a frozen gas giant. This is a very, very dim star. It looks like it was just started, and it looks like it's evaporating a planet over there. I can only assume is... No, it's none of these planets. That's just a comet, isn't it? Oh yeah, look at that. It's just a comet. Very cool. So we have a gas giant over here. We have a cold desert over here. Really shiny. Look at that. You see like the star reflecting on it. And if we touch down, we might get a pretty awesome view, since this looks like... Oh, whoa. Everything dark. You can still kind of see the Andromeda Galaxy, but that is a weird atmosphere. Do I have the ambient lighting turned up or something? Not. That is just a very weird atmosphere. So, let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which is from... let's see... Plazasta? He says, 2 neutron stars orbiting each other. Both have accretion disk. According in the systems menu on the top left corner, the one to the right is blindingly bright. Check it out. Oh, there's a space at the beginning there. Let me just get rid of that. There we go. And let's go ahead and fly over to this. Okay, so we're flying over to the very center of 2 stars, and it looks like these are in fact very bright. So said the systems menu on the top left corner would be very bright, but I'm not seeing that. Click on this. I had it selected. There we go. Neutron star. With a very, very fast spinning accretion disk. This is real time, by the way. I would like to point that out. And just look how insanely fast this pulsar is spinning. You could only imagine that there's probably huge gamma ray jets. Obviously it's gamma radiation, you cannot see that with the naked eye, but we could detect that, and we probably have optics that can probably see something like that. But look at that. You can see it just bend light around it as I land on the star. It just looks crazy. Let's go ahead and turn down the exposure to kind of get a better view of this accretion disk as it spins around. Like I said, this is real time, so this is spinning incredibly fast. Look at that accretion disk just spin around this thing. That's crazy. That's such a cool effect. It's very rare that I actually come across neutron stars that have accretion disks that do this. This is a unique thing for me. I don't actually see this very commonly. With accretion disks that just fling around the star so quickly. Let's go ahead and reset the exposure. Wow, that is a lot brighter. Okay, so let's go ahead and zoom out and check out this other pulsar. Noting that these are these are only a diameter of 27 kilometers. These are actually very, very small. Yet, if you were anywhere near this thing, you would be shredded apart and become part of this accretion disk. A good advertisement for your next vacation to a lovely neutron star. Let's go ahead and turn down the exposure for this one. And that is just such a cool effect. Then it fades off to a blue if I turn the exposure down more. It's kind of a nice bronze color, I would say. Now it's kind of desaturated, and now it's going to fade off to a blue. Very nice effect. Looks lovely. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to... oh, wow. Jeez. Let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which is from, let's see, the same user, and he says it is a Terra with an ESI of 97%, so let's go ahead and check that out. Let's get rid of that question mark there, and here we go. It is a... that's a Terra? Well, it looked almost like a desert. It is totally locked with an orange dwarf, it looks like. And let's just go ahead and zoom in. It looks like it might have some red water, or that's just a shading of the atmosphere. As you can see, it does have purple terrestrial life, though. And it does appear the water is actually red, and that's not just the atmosphere fooling me. Yeah, it does actually have like some crazy blood red water. Very nice. And as we come to the beach here, we can actually see the terrestrial life texture. Which, I don't even know what that is. That looks like the kind of quote-unquote generic life texture that's on a lot of planets. Roofed forest, moss, not really too sure. Just looks like noise, really. And kind of got the same thing going on over here. So, doesn't have the crazy clover textures that these purple planets typically have. That's a really cool effect, though. And it looks like it's just kind of, something. Can't wait to hopefully see some more higher resolution, like, life textures on these planets. Let's go ahead and go over to these, mountains where it's actually very dark. Wow, I can barely see that, but... wow. These hills actually look very cool. I like the contrast of like the dark blackish purple against the orange. With the really cool erosion, it looks very, I don't know, alien, I guess. These are really cool looking hills. Check this out. And kind of got like a canyon slash ravine effect going on here. You can see like there's layering, where possibly the oceans were probably a little bit higher on this planet. Maybe. But really awesome. So this has an ESI of 97%, but it looks incredibly alien. And it's tidally locked. Very interesting. So let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which somebody says visit Earth for the good old times. And his name is Zadaki 222 Gaming. Let's go ahead and check that out. I've visited Earth many times. I have videos dedicated to Earth. I have an Eclipse video that took place on Earth. Earth, that one planet I blow up way too much in Universe Sandbox 2. Maybe that's an unhealthy obsession of mine, but inherently I don't care. So let's go ahead and land over in the Rocky Mountains. And a little bit bumpy here, shockingly. I wasn't actually expecting that. Normally these kind of textured worlds, manually textured worlds, are just incredibly flat. But now the Rockies are actually relatively bumpy. Here's our lovely parent star, Sol, our sun. And there's the beautiful night lights, kind of just gleaming all around. Looks like I'm looking at possibly somewhere in the UK and European regions, and that's possibly... There's India. There's China, Japan, and Australia, which is actually having the sunrise, it looks like. Very cool. And as you can see, the Milky Way is visible, which typically is not really the case, at least in areas where there is light pollution. So let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which is from... let's see, that's a Universe Sandbox 2 suggestion, which should go on the US2 videos. I'm actually thinking about making an email for Universe Sandbox 2 suggestions. That way they don't get, like, mixed up, thrown around. My problem is I'm getting so many comments now that I can't really keep track, so I'm thinking about making an email specifically for Universe Sandbox 2 suggestions and stuff like that. And video suggestions, just a general contact email or something. Nah, I think it's going to be exclusive to just Universe Sandbox 2 suggestions, but I feel like that'd be much easier to kind of filter through and actually get your guys' suggestions, because I do lose your guys' suggestions in all the comments. My last few videos is actually me going through and actually checking out a lot of and stuff, trying to kind of figure things out. And yeah, for the most part, I've been revisiting visiting old suggestions, particularly, so people who've been like recently suggesting things may have noticed that I'm not actually going through their videos. That's not intentional or anything like that. I mean, that's not like my intent or anything. It's just I'm trying to get around to the older suggestions and do things in order a little bit, but you know, that doesn't really work out too well, and I think it'd be better if I just made a contact email for this. Yeah, I definitely do have a lot of suggestions lined up. A lot of them I kind of skip over because, well, they're not going to be that interesting. Like somebody said, terraform a black hole. It's like, I mean, I could make a troll video of that. I mean, that could be a thing. I could totally, like, start throwing asteroids and stuff into a black hole trying to add water to it, but I don't think that's going to do much other than just add mass to the black hole, and, you know, anything that might live there might die from, you know, spaghettification and extreme radiation, but who knows? Maybe there's some scientific theory that is incredibly impractical of terraforming a black hole. I don't really know, but I don't think I'm going to be able to recreate that in Universe Sandbox 2 anytime soon. So let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which looks like it is from Derpsauce Gaming, and he says, go to RS, long ID, it is a scorched desert with around 2 stars and triple star. Around 2 stars in a triple star system. Wait for the star to eclipse one another. The planet dims, and you can see the surface. It dims every 24 hours. So I assume it is a very bright star, and a dimmer star passes over it. So let's go ahead and check that out. Let's get rid of that extra... Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Get rid of that extra space. And here we go. again. What? What? That's the Andromeda Galaxy. Is this the same nebula? There's no way that's the same nebula. Am I in Triangulum? I am. Okay. Is that like the biggest nebula in Triangulum? I guess so. Is that a supernova? What? Okay, that is a catalog nebula. So that's a nebula we could just see in Triangulum? That's a thing? I never knew about this. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and go over there. Okay, so I don't know which star, but one of these stars is very bright and is blinding out all visible, most visibility of the surface of this planet. What we're going to do is we're going to speed up time and get one to pass one another. Or it could just be the combined brightness of these two stars, and there is an eclipse of the star, which dims it out quite a bit. And now we can see the lovely giant tidally locked storm on this planet. So a really cool effect. And if we just follow this object and track object and just hit play, I guess rotate with object too, you can watch as this effect happens. I must say that was incredibly amusing how that was moving almost in sync with the music. That was totally not intentional, by the way. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion. So he wants me to visit 3, 4, and 5.5, which is the 5th moon from the 5th planet of this next ID. Once again from Derp Sauce Gaming, so let's go ahead and check it out. Oh, go faster. Okay, back to real time. Let's see. I'm still locked with that object. How do I appear to still be locked with that object. That is weird. Okay, well I guess I'm going to go back to the previous suggestion and unlock myself from that object because, well, I checked off the locky thingy. And now I'm stuck tracking and following that object. So let's go ahead and go back. Okay, there we go. Now I should be free. Okay, so let's head back once again over to the next suggestion. And here we go. Okay, so we have a really kind of oval-shaped blue gas giant. And this is number 3. He wanted me to visit. Oh no, the game's probably gonna crash. A telltale sign that crashing is gonna happen, but let's go ahead and go over to the Terra. And let's go ahead and zoom in. Looks like we have a lot of snow peaks, so it's a relatively cool Terra. In fact, it's sitting at negative 35 degrees Celsius. Very cold world. CO2, oxygen, and sulfur dioxide. And let's see, looks like we have kind of a sand texture going on. It's loading in. Actually, no, that's kind of the cracked earth. dried out mud texture, I guess you would say. We got a bunch of patchy snow around all these rounded, kind of smaller hills. Nothing too jagged or crazy going on, it's just these weird rounded hills. And as you can see, it kind of opens up to a huge snow plain over here with a very, very flat volcano, it looks like, possibly, or that might just be a crater. Kind of hard to tell. But a lot of snow for sure. So pretty cool. The life on this planet is not going to be visible since it is marine life and it's all underwater, and we can't actually be marine life in this game as of yet. So let's go ahead and move on to the next planet, which is over here. Which wanted me to visit the fifth moon, which, noting there's a little eclipse there, which is a almost Mars-looking desert world, but it's actually very cool. Negative 70 degrees, CO2 and oxygen, very, very thin atmosphere it looks like, so actually very similar to Mars. And this does have terrestrial life, so let's go ahead and check out our life texture that we have on this planet, which looks like it's going to be that purple life, but with like kind of the weird clover sort of things that you would probably see in the middle of a forest or at like a water edge or something like that. Kind of like that. Those might just be some type of weird flower. But very cool, and you can see there's actually a winded sand effect going through all these life textures, which is kind of odd to see. As you can see, things are actually loading quite slowly for me now, so something tells me my game is out of maybe allocated memory, video memory, I'm not too sure, but things are not working how they should be, so I'm just going to relaunch it before it crashes. So, blah blah blah, relaunching. And there we go. Ah yes, there we go, much more responsive. Oh, look at this very, very freakishly tall volcano here, which is very active. As you can see, there's lava running down the sides of it, and a bunch of ash. And the highest point of this volcano is probably about right here, and it is an altitude of, where is that, 13 kilometers? A very, very tall volcano. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which is from XXX Hand Banana. XXX, is that your name? Let's go ahead and check it out. Get rid of the question mark. Put the dash because it is a Kepler object. It is an orange dwarf. What is orbiting around it? Looks like a hot desert. Tidally locked, I can only assume, which it certainly is. Orbiting very, very close to this, what I can only assume is an orange dwarf. Yes, it is. So it orbits every 6 days. Has a diameter of 15,000 kilometers, so a relatively big planet. Has an atmospheric pressure of 0.374, so 37% of that of Earth, and it's a very hot planet sitting at 438 degrees. Very cool. Let's go ahead and check out the next planet, which is another scorched desert. And this one has a much, much thicker atmosphere, sitting at 825 atmospheres of pressure. This is an incredibly inhospitable world. This is much worse than Venus, and I can only assume that anything under this very, very thick, hellish cloud layer is probably just molten. So let's go ahead and fly in. Look how detailed this cloud layer is. So we're flying through the first layer, and probably the only layer. And you can see it just goes into a dark black void. But if I go ahead and turn up the ambient lighting, we should maybe be able to see that it's actually not molten. It's actually a kind of dry, desert-y texture. But I think this planet is actually molten. If I go over to the night sky, you're really not going to see anything. It's just going to fade to black. And if I go over to where it's incredibly bright, No, it's actually not molten. It's actually a kind of dry desert, I guess. But something tells me, yeah, that is definitely a molten planet, especially on that tidally locked side. So let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which, by the way, I have a lot of suggestions for Universe Inbox 2 videos in my previous Space Engine video. Please leave those exclusively to the Universe Inbox 2 videos, along with Space Engine suggestions on the Space Engine videos, because when I review comments for these kind of things, I filter on a per video basis. I'm not going to actually see suggestions on other videos. Like, if you post a Space Engine exploration suggestion, one of these IDs, on a different video, I'm not going to actually view it. You have to put it on the latest uploaded Space Engine video. So this next suggestion is from Gabriel Lahun, and he says, "Found this planet in Andromeda. It is a desert with blue life that orbits a white main sequence star and has a really cool terra moon, pun intended." Okay. Is it an ice moon? It has orange rocks near the shore. Visit both of them. Oh, and by the way, I've been sick for 2 weeks now. Okay, yeah, not very good times. Yeah, I'm over being sick. Like, my room is on quarantine right now. I got hand sanitizer. I am not dealing with that anymore. Looks like it's a dual planetary system, and we have this blue desert here. There is the white main sequence star, giving it a nice blue shade, I can only assume. But it also apparently has blue life, so let's go ahead and check it out. And what is going on with this volcano? Looks like it is spewing out chicken noodle soup or something like that. Okay, so we kind of got that generic life texture going on there, and I zoomed out way too quick. And I can't quite tell what that is. It's kind of hard to tell with the blue texture, but it looked like grass. Kind of hard to tell. Is there any darker portions? Ah, yes, there certainly is. Let's go over to, like, this volcano right here and see what's growing on the side of it. Oh yeah, I can see that is actually, like, kind of a dry area with a bunch of oak or pine trees or something like that. And over there is kind of a root forest, so very cool. Let's go ahead and zoom back out and check out this next planet over here, which looks like it is a Terra, a cool Terra. And it is very frozen. Look at those huge polar caps. They've almost consumed the entire planet. There is no life on this world, though. It is very, very cold, negative 23 degrees, and as you can see, there is a lot of ice just absolutely everywhere. So it is a very, very frozen Terra world, and this is that orange sand I assume you were talking about. Oh yeah, it's kind of like an orange gravelly, jagged rock texture it looks like. Very nice. Go ahead and check out the next suggestion, which is from Blue the Dragon, and he says, "Try Haumea. It is a dwarf planet with a very odd shape." Actually, I think I've been there before, but let's go ahead and check it out. Pretty sure I've been to Haumea. If not, I'm sure I've thrown it at a lot of things in Universe Inbox 2. If I'm right, this is kind of like a round world. Very dim. Let's go ahead and turn off real planet brightness. Because as you can imagine, this is orbiting very far from the sun. Oh yeah, I've been here before, for sure. And has a really cool purple texture on it, as you can see. Mainly because it's just a big block or ball of ice, I guess. Not really a block of ice. And looks absolutely beautiful in this game. There is a kind of crater that ejected some type of matter. And yeah, it's just very nice. And as you can see, it's very, very far from the sun. But if I turn it back on the real planet brightness, you can tell that it is very far from the sun because, well, it's just barely visible. Very nice. The next suggestion is from Blue the Dragon again. He says, also okay, so, yeah. It does have an odd shape. It has that kind of oval shape, but the texture is procedurally generated. There's no actual, like, I don't think we've actually visited Haumea in any way or fashion, or actually observed it, outside of basically just detecting it. So in the game, it's completely procedurally generated texture. It's actually using the texture that's typically seen on ice worlds, but let's see, I assume this is probably the next suggestion you want me to visit. Let's go ahead and try this. Once again from Blue the Dragon, and he says, nothing too special, it's a trinary star system that should lie about 19.5 light years away from Earth. Let's see. So this is just like kind of the closest triple star system to us or something like that. If I hit Shift H, I do believe. Shift H, and we sit here kind of like in the center of these stars. We are a distance of 19.4 light years from Earth, so pretty close. Okay, so the next suggestion is from Andromeda. He has 2 suggestions, so let's go ahead and pay a visit to those. And here we go, temperate desert with life. Maybe elliptical galaxy? Oh yeah, I think we're in an elliptical galaxy. No, this is definitely... No, wait, this is a colliding elliptical galaxy with a spiral galaxy, I think. I'm pretty sure that's what's going on here. And there's a spiral galaxy, a really cool looking spiral galaxy, mind you. Randomly generated. There is an oval looking moon, which is probably eclipsing this planet right now. If I were to guess, no, it looks like we just missed the eclipse. And this is a temperate desert with life, a very, very orange looking desert, and it has some green life on it, so let's go and check it out. This is what Mars would kind of look like if it was terraformed, I guess, with at least green life. Life that has a lot of melanin in it, I believe. Could be wrong about that. Might be a less... I forget which chemical makes plant life have a green and purple look to it. Got kind of that mossy looking tree roof texture going on that we've seen actually quite a few times in this video. Some lovely, actually kind of eroded terrain, actually really smooth looking terrain for a desert. Which is actually quite unusual. Normally the hills are going to be, or are typically like a lot more jagged than this. But no, this is actually a very well eroded desert. These are a little bit jagged, but yeah, definitely kind of a unique desert going on here. And over here we have a huge comet tail. Let's go ahead and check that out. I can only assume that is a planet burning away in this huge cloud, and there it is. And that is certainly what's happening, and I think its moons also have comet tails, kind of making this look incredibly exposed. Very nice. Let's go ahead and zoom out and figure out what's going on with this galaxy. Oh yeah, that is definitely a collision between an elliptical galaxy and a spiral galaxy, it looks like. Not too much else going on in the sky, other than that one spiral galaxy that we saw, but very cool. As you can see, because the elliptical galaxy is actually pretty big, it's basically consumed this entire spiral galaxy. We're still flying past stars right now at this distance. So that is not a small elliptical galaxy. Okay, so this next suggestion, once again, is from Andromeda. Let's go ahead and check it out. Get rid of that question mark, and here we go. Okay, so it's the same galaxies. We have a binary star system and possibly a binary planet system. Big gas giant here, which has a lot of moons, and one of those moons happens to be another gas giant? I don't think that's correct. I think what's going on here is we possibly have what I can only assume is some type of dual planetary system. So let's go ahead and turn on our orbit maps here. No, these are actually separate planets. Okay. Very cool. Doesn't actually show the other planets, so I can only assume this is probably the B star, so it's probably... No, what is this? No, it's a brown dwarf. Okay. Go. And there's the 2 gas giants that I do believe we're observing right now. And this one has a really cool look to it. Let's go ahead and zoom into it real quick. Let's try it. Very nice little system here, and I can only assume these are probably like red dwarfs or something over here. If I can get these up. Yeah, they're red dwarfs. Oh, and there's another set of stars over here. Wow, this is a big star system. Just zoom out real quick. I can't seem to get it selected. There's a lot of stars. Can't quite figure out how many though. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then there's that brown dwarf, so I think it's a 5-star system. Yeah, I think there might be like 5 stars here. I could be wrong. There could be more. It might be 6. Well, very cool system. If you want to visit it, the ID, as always, is in the top left. The next suggestion is from Harvey89, and he says, here is a frozen titan with cool dark rings. Let's go ahead and check that out. Okay, so it is a frozen titan. I think I have real planet brightness already enabled, so it's actually pretty bright for a titan, I would say. It's got these awesome dark rings, which kind of have a, I think, purplish hue. Very kind of desaturated gray looking. And let's go ahead and touch down on this titan here. It doesn't appear to have any life, but I think it does actually have like a red water. It's not actually blue water, I don't think. As you can see, the sky is actually, like I said, pretty bright for a titan actually. Let's go ahead and turn off the orbit map so we don't see all these things in the sky. And very cool looking. Let's see if we can find some type of mountain range or something on it. Ah yes, we have like some kind of frozen hills over here. Assuming the entire planet's frozen, of course, because, I mean, it's a titan. It's very cold. Let's just bring up the search tool here and get the planet reselected. Negative 190 degrees Celsius, so a very, very cold world. And it looks like methane, I do believe that's methane, and nitrogen. So I can only assume the oceans are made of possibly liquid nitrogen or liquid methane. Very nice. Let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which once again is from Harvey89, and he says, visit 41 Orionis 9. Let's see if that ID actually works. I don't think that's actually going to work. No, but I do know if I type in 41 Orion and then go over to G, and you want me to visit 9, so the 9th planet, which is right over here. Is a frozen titan with beautiful sky. It's much dimmer. This is what I typically expect titans to be. Of course, we're in the Orion Nebula within the Barnard's Loop, and there's the Flame Nebula over there. Go ahead and touch down right on this world. Sky much darker, and there's the beautiful star. Actually has a really cool looking orange glow. Of course, it was a different color when we were... No, it actually wasn't. But it looks very cool from within the atmosphere. Got like the lovely purple kind of tint due to us being basically in a nebula right now. There is a large moon, and this is pretty cool. Got these big rings, very large rings for a terrestrial world. There's the shadow being casted on it. There's the large magellanic cloud. And yeah, just very nice. Wow, that looks very dark when you're actually in the shadow of the rings. Kind of worried that the game might crash soon. So I'm going to move on to the next suggestion, which is from... I can't actually pronounce your name. Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce your name. It's some type of I don't know, kanji or something. I don't know if that's Chinese, Japanese, Korean. I don't really know. But Abraxas, you should visit this star. Let's go ahead and check out this star. And I'll read the description in just a second. It is a yellow luminous supergiant. It's in a triple system with 2 very interesting partners. Okay, let's go ahead and check it out. So we have a kind of oval-shaped star, not exactly round, very bumpy. It is a supergiant, so this has the potential to explode in a brilliant-looking supernova. Hole next to it. The black hole is not too big, it's only 121 kilometers, but as you can imagine, it is incredibly dense, more dense than those pulsars we visited earlier. And if you were anywhere near this thing, it would absolutely rip you apart. Because that is the property of smaller black holes. They are not very nice at all. You'd actually fall into a supermassive black hole, but a normal black hole? No, they're not very nice. Is this another black hole? Oh yeah, there's another black hole near it. So I assume these are the 2 very interesting partners, with a very awesome lensing effect. Very nice. And it's always kind of cool to watch it just fly across the galaxy like this. It looks like all those like kind of scientific examples, demonstrations, things you normally see when you're like researching black holes or see videos on black holes. They'll typically show like a black hole just flying across the galaxy, and you can see all the stars just bending around it, and it's just very cool looking. Very nice. And as you said, this is a triple star system. Is it just a triple star system of like black holes and this yellow luminous supergiant, or is there actually other stars? No, it just appears to be these 2 black holes and this beautiful supergiant. Very nice, cool suggestion. The next suggestion is from... I totally lost track of where I was. Yes, it's from Cubcat, and he has a suggestion saying going to Kepler 1110, so 1110. Let's get rid of that question mark and fix the dash, and let's go. Okay, so orange dwarf, pretty standard. That's what Kepler observes a lot of the time. And a scorched desert with some kind of fiery clouds. Tidally locked, of course. And if we fly into it, looks like we flew through like 3 cloud layers or something like that. Typical for tidally locked worlds. And I can barely see anything inside this atmosphere. It's just incredibly thick. There we go. Now we're actually getting some visibility. So you can kind of see the jagged desert hills, probably very, very coarse sand. And, well, insanely hot. It is 868 degrees Celsius on this world. Apparently the atmosphere consists of hydrogen, no, not hydrogen, water, carbon dioxide, and sulfur dioxide. And it's sitting at a distance of 0.08 astronomical units, of course, in the Milky Way galaxy, and it was discovered in 2016 via transit. Very cool. The next suggestion is from... let's see... Okay, so it actually appears that we don't have any more suggestions for this video. So, I'm going to end the video here. If you guys like the video, please leave it a like. And if you want to see more videos like this, please do subscribe. Do give me opinions on possibly going, like, doing YouTube full-time or something like that. I don't really know. I don't really make enough to make it full-time, but, you know, actually, like, putting a little bit more effort into it, giving it kind of a little bit more... a little bit more time and editing and just trying to figure things out and play games more. Allocate just in general more time to YouTube, because right now I allocate like a max 3 hours tops and per day. And yeah, I think it'd be cool to maybe allocate, I don't know, 6 or 8 hours tops and produce more videos daily. But yeah, if you get, like I said, if you guys like the video, please leave a like. If you want to see more videos like this, please do subscribe. It really does help. And I will see you guys in the next one.